And the energies that we see, the M-class flares, the X flare, the shifts in the pattern of the Schumann to me, they're all in the red resonance. They're attempting to shake us out of this deep density, this deep muck that we have been mired in, especially of self-judgment, of self-blame, guilt, and shame, because it separates us from the light that we are, and that is what sin is, separation from God, not because of what we've done, but because of our inability to forgive our human faults and weaknesses, and then make the choice to return to the light that we are, and let it be okay that those things happened. Hello, friends. How are you today? I have in my mind what I want to say about the Schumann resonance and the trends, but the stuff going on for me personally is like distracting me at the moment. And I had an awful situation at my work last week at my training, and I don't know, it's just got me like feeling like I can't talk. To summarize, I experienced some of the new policies firsthand, and some of these policies just made up out of thin air over the people involved, I guess over their fear. I'm not really sure where it was coming from. And the policies were so discriminatory and demeaning and dehumanizing, because certain people in one category were made to do the training outdoors in the rain for 4 hours when it went down to 57 degrees. There was an awning, but the rain was just coming in, and we had no shoes on for the training, and my feet were soaked. And everyone else got to be inside where it was warm. And it may seem like a small thing, like, oh, you know, a little rain, whatever. But no one inside protested that we should be allowed to come inside, or like, this is weird, why are you doing that? No one did that. And it's a small number of participants, but some of them could not look me in the eyes, you know, and we've spent months together now, and when you can't look someone in the eyes, it's because you know what is happening is wrong, and you can't deal with the fact that you're participating in that, in doing something that's wrong. And I'm not gonna say, I don't want to take a side in this. I don't want to be anti or pro. I want to be exercising the rights that I have as a citizen. But because I'm a seer and a visionary, I receive visions. And the entire time I was out there, I was having these visions of where this kind of behavior could go. And it was frightening and shocking. It was frightening because what I could see was that it starts with us being out in the rain in the deck. And the majority, or the group the group accepting that this is okay to be, for everyone outdoors to be treated like this. And it seems like it's little. Oh, it's just rain. Oh, it's just, being out in the cold. It's just a short time. Oh, it's only 57 degrees. It's not like it could be 30. It could be 0. But that's not the point, is it? Ultimately, what crystallized for me was that one group was being conditioned to not care about the circumstances of another group of living human beings. The cognitive dissonance of being raised with those values and then experiencing the situation was incredible. And what it distilled for me is the need for everyone with whom it resonates, where it resonates for you, bring that light and bring it into some kind of action. A kind person wrote to me, thank you for your email, and talked about how she walks into places just expressing herself as she normally would. Hasn't gotten any pushback on that. And I think it's because when you embody the Christ light within, I'm just going to bring it like that big. When you embody God's light within you, when you embody the truth of who you are, light shines into a dark room and reveals what has been hidden. It's because if someone who is cloaked in darkness, whether it's the darkness of their own illusions or the darkness of their experience or the darkness of their intentions, whatever the spectrum is, if they walk towards someone who embodies the Christ light, it asks internally for them to transform. Okay, their inner system asks for them to transform. And this is the same reason why the woman who touched Jesus's cloak, remember the story of Jesus walking in the crowd and this woman who was desperately ill, she had so much belief in who he was and what he embodied, the light of God, okay? She pushed her way through and she couldn't get up close to him. She just grabbed just the very edge of his robe as it flowed behind him. She reached out and just touched it. She felt that if she could just touch his robe, just that small part of him, that she would be healed. And she was healed. And Jesus immediately felt that connection, felt that energy, and turned around and said, "Who touched me?" And she came forward and professed her faith in the power of embodying this level of faith, the power of embodying this level of trust changes our world. It changes the substance of who we are. It elevates us. It upgrades us. And she, the woman, was upgraded. She became fully healed, cleared of her disease, and acknowledged by Jesus himself, Jesus Christ himself, acknowledging her faith. Embodying the light that you are can create miracles around you. The woman got to experience the miracle, but what she didn't know was how her actions and her deep faith and belief, how that affected everyone else in the crowd who went home and then may have thought differently or lived differently by simply witnessing her faith. And so I say to you, if you embody that faith, whether you speak or not, whether you act or not, however you are moved by the divine within you, that's the only thing that matters. But to embody that faith and to understand that you are worthy, you are deserving of embodying that light, and indeed that you may be called to do so in this moment. Because this is a critical moment. It's a critical moment that has been building now over decades, and we didn't see it building, and maybe some people did. Yeah, they did. But we have the ability to participate now upon waking up, and by shining the light that you are, You change your world, but it's physics. Energy in motion is always in motion. You don't have to cord yourself to other people energetically to help them. You hold the light that you are within your field. Don't leak it purposely, like dripping crumbs for the children in Hansel and Gretel, how they dripped crumbs so they could find their way back home. To who? To the witch in the cabin? So you hold the energy in your own field and you trust in the divine, that the divine will guide you. But that energy flows out from your field. It flows out from your field into your environment. And without you doing anything but being you, that energy affects the energy matrix around you and all the people who participate in it. This is my truth and my interpretation of these things. And I ask for you to consider what your role is. But more than that, I ask for you to understand how worthy you are as a human being, and that the judgments put on you are your own. They aren't of God. They aren't of the Christ light. Look at Jesus' life. He dined with those who were considered the lowest in society. He forgave immediately anyone who walked up to him and asked to be in his presence and asked for forgiveness. It was present and automatic immediately, his love and respect for the truth of who that being was. When he disparaged people, it was about their separation from God. The way that he disparaged the Pharisees, the way that he threw the moneylenders out of the temple. He did these things because they were so far from the truth of the God light within these human beings that it was egregious to him, and it ached him to see that. When a human being came forward wishing to embody the truth of who they are, what did he do? He embraced them. He loved them. He forgave them. And in truth, that Christ light is available to us all. It is pure love. It is pure acceptance. But it's up to us to forgive within ourselves our own separation from the light that we are, so that we can step forward and receive it again, so that we can step forward and fully embody our truth. But to do that requires understanding that you are worthy, requires forgiveness of yourself, by yourself, of anything you have done or have had done to you. And when you do that, you are able to embody the Christ light, and in doing so, change yourself, and in doing so, emanate a template out to the world of who you are. I ask you to consider these things today. This is what I'm thinking on. And the energies we see, the M-class flares, the X flare, the shifts in the pattern of the Schumann, to me, they're all in the red resonance. They're attempting to shake us out of this deep density, this deep muck that we have been mired in, especially of self-judgment, of self-blame, guilt, and shame, because it separates us from the light that we are, and that is what sin is, separation from God, not because of what we've done, but because of our inability to forgive our human faults and weaknesses, and then make the choice to return to the light that we are, and let it be okay that those things happened. because in being the light that we are and letting it imbue every cell of our being, every particle of our energy, and all the spaces in between, I've received the call. In doing so, we reclaim our purity. We reclaim the truth of who we are. And we reclaim our God-given right to live as free human beings. The human resonance. It's all about the vibe.